Now this video is being shot from the opposite side of the last video I posted here in Yasaka Lake Reservoir. That area over there is where the old Route 186 is. Eventually it leads down farther into the lake, what's now the lake. And then down around that bend, I'll take some more video soon. There's a tunnel that's still there because I've walked through it the last time the water had dropped down really far, a lot farther than it is now. But just around that bend, there's a under the water, probably 30-40 feet. There's a tunnel for the old Route 186, and of course you can't see it now. But we're here on the Yasaka Promenade. Yasaka is Yasaka Gorge, which basically is what this area right here was before they built the dam and backed the water up. This promenade was pretty popular for a long time for people to just come up here and walk along the lakeside. But they posted some barriers and some signs that said keep out construction or some damn thing way back up the entrance, which is about a mile and a half back there. They've been up for about 3 years now, and I've been down here, not quite this far, but I've been down the promenade a few times and I've seen no construction. As a matter of fact, this place hasn't even been cleaned up in a couple of years at least. I used to take the dogs, when I had all the dogs up here, I used to take the dogs up here during the week because there'd be nobody here during the week. I'd take the dogs up here and let them, this is a 3-mile long stretch along the lakeside here. Eventually comes out to a observation point, which I'll shoot video of when I get to it. We're about halfway there. Unless I come up against something that keeps me from getting that far. So far, it's just been a couple of rocks, big rocks in the pathway, and some fallen trees. Nothing hard to get around or over. So, another adventure. More later. So, an interesting point about this whole promenade, and one of the reasons they actually built the dam. This big concrete half-round pipe that you see here, the other half is under the pathway now. But this was the main water line between the other dam that's up farther, about 15 miles upriver from the one that is down below in the direction I'm pointing the camera right now. That dam that's back in the other direction is called the Ose Dam. This is the Ose. This reservoir is hard to see with all the trees here. But yeah, this lake or reservoir is fed by the Ose River, Osegala. So the Ose Dam was the one of the original watersheds for this area, and all the way down the valley from where it's at into Otake City. So it was like a main supply of water, fresh water, and it ran through this pipe. This pipe runs all the way from that Ose Dam, which I don't know why I'm pointing the camera back that way, because you sure as hell can't see it from here, because it's 20 miles up the road, up the river. But anyway, it's that direction. So that pipe ran underground and sometimes above ground. In this case, it was above ground and above the actual riverbed, the original riverbed down here. It's about 3.5 feet in diameter, inside diameter. Concrete, and I don't know if the concrete was laid around steel or iron pipe on the inside, because it was a long time ago. Could be. This manhole cover right here is fairly new, actually. You can tell by the construction and the fact that the steel manhole cover is not at all rusted. Anyway, that's fairly new. So, for some reason or other, they still need to get inside this pipe every once in a while. It's probably an alien base or something hidden up inside there. You know, those aliens are only like 3 foot tall, so that would be like a condominium inside here for them. Just kidding. So, walking along the top of this main water line pipe right now. And that's the reason they built the dam, Yasaka Dam here, to be able to supply a closer, larger supply of fresh water to the Otake city area, which is down on the seacoast, about 10 or 15 miles downriver from here. All right. So we're coming up on something that I think is fairly interesting here along this the bend in this path. There's this huge rock. It's one big boulder, and it's pretty well set into the side of the mountain here. But it looks like, as you can see here, it's just defying gravity. Really, it's pretty amazing. I suspect someday, another billion years or so, it'll eventually topple down and close this off. But I come to call this Mother Rock. And just because of where it's at, and there's this kind of almost obelisk, flat-faced natural stone, also smaller one, right in front of it, coming from the other direction. I just turn around here. It almost looks like this would be a tablet or something explaining what this big, huge 2-story, almost 3-story boulder is. It's sitting here levitating, seemingly levitating off the ground. And there is some unnatural work done here. It's hard to see because it hasn't been cleaned up in a long time, but there's a drainage pipe, or a drainage basin, carved up underneath there, right here. All these leaves are kind of covering up the stonework. Thank you. You can see my full-size 60-pound Doberman can get pretty far up underneath there. But this drainage basin with all the ferns growing here, the water actually runs up underneath this rock from above and comes down here when it's raining enough, and there's been enough rain, and fills up this basin, and then goes to the drain pipe underneath the path here that drains out right there and flows down into the reservoir, which is down the hill about 60 or 70 meters, I guess. And yes, I know I keep changing from metric to U.S. measurements, but I'm double-brained, or half-brained, I guess. Not double-brained. That would make me twice as smart as I am, which could be, because I'm not that smart, so twice as smart would just kind of make me half normal. Alright, so that's Mother Rock back that way. And we're about 3/4 of the way around the along the path here now. That drainage pipe that I spoke of earlier, there's another newer manhole cover for it. It comes out right here. It actually dropped down and then has come back up again. And this is I suspect was a maintenance entrance here at one time long ago. It's all barbed wired in now. Sorry, you can't hardly see it with the sun coming in that direction. There, that's a little bit better. So you got a barbed wire barrier, which is fairly new. I mean, there was one there before, but I don't remember it looking this nice. That's brand new barbed wire. It's not rusted at all. All the bolts on the frame there are fairly new. Huh, I guess that might have been some of the work they were doing back here. Although why they have to close off the whole thing for 3 years to get that done, I have no idea. And I guess they probably have bolted this down a little bit better now to keep all those little aliens in there. Or to keep us non-aliens out. Alright, a little bit more. Alright, made it to the far end from the Yasaka Park campground, rather. The Yasaka campground. And I've made it to the 3.5 kilometers down here to the other end of this Yasaka. It's called the Yasaka Promenade. And it comes to this kind of observation tower that looks out over the reservoir. Go up there and take a look at it. It's been cleaned up and sanded off. Not that recently, but yeah, this is the view from the observation tower here. Really windy today. You probably hear that. So right across from here, that little point, let me zoom in here. A little point in the land right there. In between that and the main that's where that old tunnel is. So it's still under the water about 20 or 30 feet, I guess, at the top of the tunnel. And it comes out, the tunnel comes right around this area. Not exactly sure, around that area. About 10 years ago, maybe a little more than that, the water had dropped down far enough where I could actually walk down to that tunnel on the other side there. And walk about 3/4 of the way down the tunnel before you start hitting the water level again. But I don't know if it's going to drop down that far this year. So, also, part of this, the end of this promenade here, along with the observation point, the observation tower, some benches, a picnic table. It's kind of nice. Come here, Chili. Come here. Come on. What are you doing? Come here. Come on. Good girl. Okay. I'm not going to leave you. All right. Good girl. Anyway, there's also this behind here. This is called White Face Mountain or White Mountain, White Rock. You can kind of see why. Really craggy. There's a trail that leads up and along the ridge there from the opposite side of this this hill, this mountain, over to the Miwa town, which is on the other side of this hill, and there's a road that leads up to a kind of a nice little parking area, and then there's a couple of trails that you can follow that leads up to the top of this. So if you really want a good view of the valley and the reservoir down here, that'd be the place to go. I'm not going up there today though. But there's a little Buddhist shrine here too. It's got a name. And there's been some people up here not too long ago, but not too recently either, that keep this dragon's head thing here. You use that little wash basin there to not to drink, to wash your hands. And then you come up here and you can light a candle or some incense and drop in a donation. And then each of these little guys here each have a different meaning. And I'm not Buddhist, so somebody left some sake. Made this guy happy, I'm sure. And then the main deity is right up there. Let us see. Behind the tree up there. And there's some sake, little cup sake up there too. What's water? Get some water. Ah. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get it. Get the water.